cemetery gate when I saw a sign, it said for a good time. Take a left down at tombstone number 8. Went through the gateway, and I'm pretty sure I saw some eyes peeking out of a sepulture. I took a step into the tomb of ill repute. That's where I met her, the zombie prostitute. I'm pretty sure I tore it. I sicked her down, but she didn't have the stomach for it. Her teeth fell out and her tongue fell out to food. But all in all, she was a rotten kind of cute. Well, I was tense, it was plain to see. A sort of rigor mortis was coming over me. I didn't want to see it, but I just had to believe it. I had a stiffy for the stiff in front of me. Destitute in the tomb of ill repute. She's a rotten kind of cute for a zombie prostitute. Toes, I don't know which of my organs is the next to go. I've been such a sleaze since she gave me the disease. Wouldn't you know, now I'm a zombie gigolo. I took my first client on a date. We took a walk to the cemetery gate. I got under her slip, but then I heard her rip. I pulled it out and I said, baby, keep the tip. Destitute in the tomb of ill repute. She's a rotten kind of cute for a zombie prostitute.
Hey chat, been a while. Whew, I put the stream on Thursday, but I was so tired from just doing about the stuff that I think, I didn't have time. So I was like, okay, well, this stream on Saturday, and so here we are. 1 second. Let me make sure you can hear me. Yep, you can hear me. Good. No, don't close that. So, I've released a sort, like, on a complete random whim 2 days ago. No, 4 days ago. And, it kind of did good. If you want to understate that. It's probably because, yeah, as you can say, slower, it's all things. I was saying is I released a sort a few days ago. This was on complete random whim because one of the dudes in the Discord posted a video. I thought, you know what, this reminds me of the meme of the knight fighting off all the other people. So I put several ways over it, and then the video kind of blew up. The sort. It is currently at 1.1 mil. Because I know sorts can hit the algorithm differently than videos. Especially if you label them, title them right. But, a weird side effect of that was I gained, I think, like, 800 subs from that. Well, it's just surreal and weird. Like I said, I always, I always separate subs from active versus inactive. So the way I always do that is, take whatever your average view count is, and then, I I usually what I do is I take what your average video. I take a YouTuber's average video count. This is what I do for. I've always done even before I started doing YouTube. Take an average person's video count, and then no video views, and then subtract that from the. Use that as the percentage of divide that by the sub count, and then use that as the percentage of. And then usually, on average, depending on what kind of channel it is, you can usually tell if you need to. If it's lower than the sub count, then typically it is majority subs who are watching it, on average. If it's significantly more than the sub count, then obviously, if it's more than the sub count, or on par with the sub count, it typically means more non-subs are watching it, since on average a lot of big YouTubers, 90% of their viewers are non-subbed, which makes sense, since bigger YouTubers get their videos pumped out to more people. But for lower channels, usually that number of views is a little more equal to the subs you have. Hey, Wasp. So like I said, for me, I consider it like, yeah, it still feels more like I have it. It will still look like I still have more like 200, because 250 being the fact that, like I said, a lot of these subs I deem inactive, being the fact that they came for one sword, and I open those swords once every blue moon. So thankfully the live chat won't be crowded or cramped, which would be nice. But no, it's been 2 weeks since I've streamed. So I've done a fair amount of grinding in Kingdom Hearts on that time. So we will get back to doing our Hollow Bastion invasion. But today it will be a reading stream. That's why I kind of cheaped out on this thumbnail. I had to skip the Robutska event because I was so busy. I couldn't get around to streaming it. So a little reference to her. I took the landscape picture I had, flipped it upside down, and then made a little lips, vampire lips. I was like, hey, those that tree. Because I started mirroring it. I'm like, wait a second, that looks kind of like a teeth if I mirrored this with this. So then I mirrored it, flipped it, and then painted it red, and then put a battlefield inside the mouth. So let's switch over. R99. Let's get the sound on.
Someone said I ought to fold up my strips before putting them in my pockets.
Yeah.
But that don't make no sense, does it? What if I need them fast? I can't bother with unfolding them in a pinch.
Let's see what she sounds like. There we go. Good, we started a bit more. There we go. But yes, I've been very much utilizing Flutter Pace. He is an evergreen character. Who will be forever useful.
But that's fine.
I did start using Robutska.
Just like getting
in the puppet. No, but I got in Puppet or Artifact Master in Puppet Arena. I was using Robutska. Super good. A healer, even better than I can see what the hype was about. She is better than Medicine Pocket, but the real goat of Puppet Arena, let me find her, is TTT. If you do start with Dynamo, or just if you start with Dynamo, you automatically get TTT for free in Puppet Arena. But if you get the artifact, the old Kane, she becomes so busted because every turn she gets an ultimate, and her ultimate ability is Disconnection.
Good folks who pass under the tree will get a leaf.
Her ult ability is mass attack, deal 300 mental damage. That does not matter. Autonomy inflicts Disconnection for 2 rounds, which means the opponent cannot gain Moxie. Since Puppet Arena is about fighting ever units, stopping them from getting Moxie cripples them. Especially the ult spammers, because there's one team you have to fight with, an ult spam team. And it just destroys them. They can't do anything against you. It was great. So, What outfit did I get from? Oh, yeah, here's the outfit I got for free from completing Puppet Theater. Look, she's adorable.
I'm so glad you are here. How is your day?
I like how it doesn't tell you what any useful characters she's with. See, like, all these will be like team recommendations. But for the lesser character, there are no team recommendations. For the weaker character, there are no team recommendations. I think it's not until... Yeah. Okay, so some of these 4-star characters get team recommendations. Let's see if TTT gets a team recommendation. Where is she? Nope, nothing. Not even a growth, only a growth goal. And growth goals to tell you how to get them to their max resonance or whatever you need to. So like, I need 566k to get into level 60, but it's not worth it. Level 30 is perfectly fine for Horrorpedia. Also, Horrorpedia is just oh hey, Whiskey. I'll see you later. All this. Hope your mom has a good time. Yeah, of course you too. No, it's okay. She's not stuck in a wheelchair. She's poor girl. Poor girl's hospitalized. If you want the wheelchair, I can get you wheelchair. Premium wheelchair.
You're in my scene. In fact, the camera.
When she got released in China, this game became one of the most highest grossing games that month. Because hags are in the Ace of 30 is in high demand among men. I do notice I have a mild stream delay going on, which is kind of annoying. I thought I fixed it. I did just update this OBS, which means I think my stream delay might be back. Unfortunately, so I'll have to fix that later. Also, we'll be doing no polls. Aha, funny number. But we have 6. We'll have by the time. Wrong one. By the time Barrel comes out, we can have 70 pools ready for her. And I will want to get Broom. So because I heard she's really good for Dynamo. Because I have to, if I can get Broom in a reasonable amount of pools, I will go for Barrel because I am skipping Corvus is because of Broom coming up. Corvus is unfortunately a skip, despite her, because this is a great design. See, peak design. Oh. Okay. Let me make sure I bought her. Yeah, sorry about it. Warehouse. Thank you. Okay, good. I did buy it. Good. I was making sure because it's on sale right now. So we're starting her event though. Cold Steel. Let's do the survey. We'll try her out. Okay. How do we use her? First, let's check. Precognizant. When entering battle, gain Amplify Surge. When raising Pulsing Field level 3, gain Moxie plus 3. When under Pulsing Field level 3, gain Moxie plus 5. Ooh, max Moxie plus 5. And immune to control effect. Nice. After actively taking an action, gain 5 stats of Dynamo. Very good. Good, that makes sense. At the start of the round, if not in the Pulsing Field. Okay, so yeah, that's the normal deploy a Pulsing Field. Because in case this character was in your any Dynamo character was in your backup reserves, and you didn't have a Dynamo character out when you started the round, and the battle, and then, you know, when your characters fell and the Dynamo came out, then they would be screwed. I do want to buy gamer subs, but I do love the taste of coffee. But I do think I should probably cut down the amount of coffee I consume. And my stomach probably would feel better. When pulsing field free ends, every 2 stacks of electric arc or reverse 1 stack of dynamo, which means I can go back into I should be able to go back into the pulsing field. Back up to free. In conversion to dynamo, 2 stacks of flickering arc to get just an attack up reuse. When the target under the welding status, my character's attack covers gain stack of electric arc. Deal mental damage, suffer mental damage by blood, attack low to do. Regain an extra stack of shove it all up. Oh dear lord, this is a paragraph. Target 1 attack deals ultimate. Might transfers up to 20 factor dynamo into the pulsing field. This attack counts as an extra action. If the pulsing field will 1 consume 1 stack of breaking point on the target, since the game 2 stacks of electric arc is under pulsing field 2, dealing additional breaking point. Negative breaking point consumed. When being attacked, so it all up triggers an additional effect. Okay. Loading status. If we're on loading point, stack of breaking point. No entering battle on the loading status. If we're loading among the same stack of breaking point on the enemy. Okay. And then her attacks are Arc Fred Shot. Gains 2 stacks of electric arc and flexes 1 stack of breaking point on target when it hits. Consume all when being attacked. Okay, so these are things you just basically bombs you want to plant on your opponent. Yeah, it was really funny. I haven't watched any videos on it, but I heard about it through the grapevine that, apparently the ladies like the ice agents. Self-channel, enter, sing, at the target around, trigger show it all up. Okay, so, for 2 rounds. Inflict welding on enemies. Welding is a never. Okay, and then if attacked under welding, inflict 1 stack of breaking point on them. Okay, yeah. And then, this will be shown into forever. Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's do some jam. Okay, so that's another one he can use. Good to know.
Battles can be just as informative as
yeah, a bunch of women were using AI. For one, a bunch of women are using AI to date. So you know how like, that one guy had Daenerys as his girlfriend? That one guy who thought he was a boyfriend to Daenerys, and then killed himself. Because the AI, for some reason... Well, see what happened is, AI... Okay, this is why the kid killed himself. The AI did not explicitly tell him to kill himself, if I remember, but AI is designed... those AI chatbots are designed to gas you up. So if you say, I think it's a good idea if I kill myself, then the AI unless the AI is specifically given safeguards to say, no, don't kill yourself, the AI will back you up. So if the AI says, that's the thing, that's the way these AI are designed, are to, like I said, gas you up. So I think, so there's always that. These women are using AI that gas them up, and they have AI models based on different types of dudes. But a really popular type of dude right now is an ice agent. So a lot of women are dating ice agents right now. AI ice agents, to be precise.
There is no
Schedule confirmed.
Alright, I'll handle the tech support.
Sacrifice holds meaning only in its morning. Life is delicate and easily lost.
In my sight.
A part of me wants to stream Facade, but if anybody was in the Discord chat, if anybody watched my Facade video I did with the boys, they'll know how bad of a typer I am, how dyslexic I am, and I don't want to... I don't want to call it the chat to try to kill me or themselves watching me type on live stream, so I think it's best for all of us to avoid that.
Alright, time to
Doom awaits within.
Right on target. All is planned.
remember a month. First of all, we don't. First of all, I have to see the data to see how many and how many leftists are dating Ice Agents. For all we know, it could be right wingers. I have a sneaky suspicion it's not, and that it's specifically leftist women. But I would need to look at the data before I can make any opinion on that. But also, remember, feminist a bunch of far leftists were obsessed with like MAGA men, especially during like 2016 through even like they were absolutely obsessed with them. Like there's that one lady who did like really weird like romance style post talking about how she had like wet dreams of like a MAGA man. It's like not a particular one, but just the idea of a MAGA man dating one. So I would not put it past a bunch of leftists to get a bunch of leftist women to get the hots for
The dead embrace you.
The clock is thick.
Ice Agents.
Algorithm. One that can only exist in theory.
Oh, I forgot he has a
Doom awaits within.
I will help you.
Do not let yourself go now.
Okay.
Signal confirmed. Ready to depart.
That's a fun ultimate. I think that's so it all off then.
Enumeration is a last resort, but sometimes it can work a miracle.
Vergossenes Blut für nichts.
Oh, we haven't done his ult yet. Here we go. His the world skin is really cool. I was able to use it in the Puppet Arena. Now
There is no end to this.
Loading.
I'll handle it. All right, time to crack some codes.
nope. We're doing this. Putting you here.
Leave it to me.
You.
There is no end.
I'll handle the text. All right, time to crack.
A highly
There we go.
efficient plan. Please, take good care of yourself.
Sacrifice holds meaning only in its warning. Life is delicate and easily lost.
An adequate sample. An accurate reading.
Please cease resistance.
Yeah, I would have, so I got home, did work, got home, swept the driveway, because of snow, and then, made lunch. And I would have technically been down sooner, but I was watching the Mikey Knows, the new Mikey Knows stream where,
Cherish life.
Nick Fuentes went full mask off. Well, he didn't even go full mask off, he's always been this way.
An amazing
It's the fact that I normally don't know he's this way. Because he's trying to be like, oh, because when I first heard Mikey talk about it, and he said, when I first heard Mikey say that Nick was saying that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't a pedophile, I thought Nick's argument was going to be retarded. Well, Tech, actually, it's not pedophilia, it's a hebophilia. But the general people were like, we don't care, we're just going to use the word pedophile. Because we all understand what it means. We don't care about your, debate bro, definition. Despite, yeah, technically it's the legal definition, but again, we don't care. We all understand what the word pedophile means. In context of Jeffrey Epstein. But no, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even the stupid debate bro. I'm actually defense. It was literally just, his defense was based, yeah, his defense was just, oh, Jeffrey Epstein was in the right to do that.
No end to this
Was-
misery.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, that wasn't going well with him. That take was not going well. I assume it's not going well with him right
All
now.
right, a perfect algorithm. One that can
Sacrifice
only
holds
exist in
meaning
theory.
only
So I was
in
watching like he watched his Rumble video. Again, it's bad. It's bad. So he's basically trying to say that, oh, it's because of the pill and feminism that we have AIDS consent.
complete.
And it's totally not that,
Enumeration
parents
is
don't want a
last
6-year-old man raping their
but sometimes
14-year-old.
It can work a miracle.
They're trying to frick the MAGA men. They're having wet dreams about them. The liberal women are woke and horny. Yes, they're woke and horny. They find MAGA sexy. Yes, they do. That's my best Trump voice you're getting at. That's the best Trump voice I can do. You already know I'm not good at impressions, so that's the best I can get. I'm working with the best I can do.
Schedule confirmed. Instincts.
I'll handle the tech support.
But it's free real estate, boys. It's free real estate. Buff,
The dead embrace you.
debuff,
Schedule
channel,
the
and
clock is
alt.
ticking.
In memory of the dead.
Hey, Flame.
Customized bullets. Follow the plan. Signal confirmed. Ready to depart.
But no, Nick's always been this way. Nick's never not been open about that. That's the thing. That's why I corrected myself by saying he didn't go max off. Because they say that he went max off, to say that he was hiding this.
A minor incident.
He's always been open about this part of
Let's
him.
continue the journey.
I start the game. I like this. I leave on the blood-stained water. And I was gonna, kind of thinking about it. Well, technically, a lot of gay teens' first sexual encounter with an adult is under 15. So, to someone like Nick, he probably thinks it's normal for 14 and 15-year-olds. Ooh, this tastes gross. To deal with adults, if that's his life he's lived. That Yiannopoulos, that was his name. To the Milo Yiannopoulos. He was defending that because he was like raped when he was like 14 or 15. And that gay guy, the old Asian gay guy in Star Trek, I'm pretty sure he was also raped when he was 14. But both Milo and that gay guy, on Star Trek both didn't call it rape. Because that's apparently extremely normalized in that culture. How long will I stay this time? The girl carries a basin of bloody water, following behind the woman. The water pushes in forum. All sides, a leaf wavers on the water, moving with everyone's voice, never knowing which way. This is the art they use for the Assassin's Creed collab. She gets nothing to do. No, she got nothing to do with me. She's just a stray. The crowd stand stolen and as gravestones, eyes peering out from the lowered brow, as if keeping their gaze down might let them slip into past disaster. Like limbs casting their eyes away from the baxters, hoping that by looking away they might be spared. At the foot of the extraction platform, the man weeps in the mass of snot and tears. Where is she? Bring her over and let me see. The man looks like their leader, waves his broad hand from outside the crowd. A massive figure carves a path. Not one figure, but two men stick together, escorting a girl whose hands are buried behind her back, drifting in and out of consciousness. Her steps are heavy, her cheeks are scraped with dirt, and her brow is furrowed as if holding back pain. The two men's faces are bruised and swollen, their weighty steps fallen uneven, adjusted to their newly mismatched limbs. Bring her over. They stagger towards the platform. The crowd parts, then presses in again, like game parting in a sieve. The gathering cannot help but sneak in a few curious glances. Move! Oh! My Trump voice is affected how horny post about... My Trump voice is affecting how I horny post about Scarlett Johansson. Hey, you can't have Scarlett Johansson. You cannot have Iron Man 2 Scarlett Johansson. She's mine. I forbid you, Wanwick. But no, speaking of Wanwick, I finally finished the first, Gunk and Eggs book. Novella. I really enjoyed it. I'm going for all the books right now, and like, it's the part where the part where the uncle comes in. It's like, yeah, like it's a very short novella, all things considered. Well, it's a novella nonetheless. It's so short compared to the other works, but I think he does a lot in that short amount of time. I really love the way A gets characterized, and the way he works off of Dunk. The stiff men flinging the girl onto the platform, riding along the ground. She eventually warns herself upright. She pops her head up, lifting her streaked face to meet the eyes of the bandit chief with a glare. So yeah, I knew macro spoilers of the story of the first book, and I know, of course, how I know how Egg's story ends. It's not a pleasant one. Again, because I know macro stories, but it is. I didn't know a lot of this. I forgot who died in the first book. So because of that, I was like, okay, what's one of the guys died? I can't remember. So I was trying to remember, and I knew one guy died, and I knew how he died. I just forgot who it was, so it was still a surprise when it happened. Cause I was like, okay, I know it's one of these people. I just don't know which of these three it's gonna be. Speaking of women, I was thinking, one of my coworkers are really big into Magic the Gathering, and they were showing me the Final Fantasy set. I'm like, I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I might need to get one of those lightning cards, because those are some good artworks of her. She props her head up, lifting her No, I already read this. Where are her fingers? Here. One of the Stitch bandits hands the chief a dripping red bundle. She used these two fingers to stitch you together. He unwraps the cloth and pulls out a finger, gleaming at the two men as if watching a comedy. Yes, boss. She crawled out of the padlock behind the tavern. Told you to watch that padlock. Then we got stuck together. The chief squat down, facing the girl. All traces of his grin disappears. Separate them. The girl stared coldly at first, silent. Huh? Is she mute? He turned toward the man, cowering on the ground. No, she's not. She can talk. But I'm got nothing to do with her. I don't know why she was in my tavern. The girl turns her head toward the terrified man. Her icy gaze only makes him more desperate. She got no parents, no one, just another orphan strangler. So, why did she protect you? The girl's nose twists. That's because he scrambled through. His scrambled thoughts come out through blinking eyes. How should I know? I didn't ask her to. Well, you know what they say. You can't make a dragon omelet without cracking a few eggs, and that's how the ball bounces. I'm also working my way for Fire and Blood, and I need to get back to reading about the Ice and Fire, The World of Westeros book, and I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying Fire and Blood, but it's starting to get to that point where I'm getting confused by who's who again, because there's just so many names I feel like I'm reading like the genealogies in the Bible, because I'm being hit with so many names, and I'm like, I need to get a flowchart. I can't keep track of all these people. Too many Targaryens name. It's not just the Targaryens, everybody. Because I love when I was reading the part about Savage Sam, and I'm like, oh wow. Sam in the present day, the book Sam's father must even hate him even more. Now that I know that he's named after a great warrior. They probably mentioned his great warrior ancestor in the books, but it's been so long I forgot they mentioned it. But just hearing that again, so there's that. But just hearing it again and hearing the kind of feats he did, I'm like, oh yeah, no wonder his dad, Samwell's dad, hates him. The gun goes off, cracks ripple through the crowds. The man collapses his pleas, call silent. Separate them, or you're next. The blood splattered onto the girl's eyes. She tucks her face into her shoulders, wiping the blood clean as she returns an icy glare at the chief.
All I can do.
I can cut them apart, but it will be straight down. But it will be straight down the middle. Don't make jokes with me.
I don't tell jokes.
At that point, mixing them all together is not even a... At that point, I think he just made a new voice that's completely wholly original and could not be considered even an impersonation. His hand tightens as it grips the gun. The girl's life hangs on a silver metal. Is it silver metal or silver metal? I never saw it snaps. The crowd's stiff. But it's the chief who falls. Ambush! Ambush! At the word, the crowd scatters. The girl flattens to the ground, forcing herself over the bundle where she promptly stuffs her torn fingers into her mouth. You know, Corvus is cool as a kid. Or a teen, wherever old she is. I'm thinking teen, judging from the picture I used in the thumbnail. Bullet's whistle overhead. She scrunches into a ball. The barrel drags as unbarreled long. She clings to the ground like an old tree's roots. At last, Boots creeps closer through the din. Hey, that's a nice design. Well... The girl lifts her head, and now she sees a long-haired woman dressed in a gorilla uniform. She gives the bandit chief's lifeless body a solid smack with her foot, then turns her gaze towards the girl kneeling on the ground.
You still alive?
She crouches down, pulling the fingers from the girl's mouth with a look of concern. Through her tone, she says flippant.
You can't eat that.
Oh, come on. How did you get this hungry? You can't eat these. She turns towards her allies and shouts. Stefan, get over here. Bring the girl something to eat. At that, another gorilla rushes over to untie the girl.
Don't be silly.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. Huh? They're my fingers. The gorilla fighters glance at the fingers, then at the girl. She hesitates, then stiffs the fingers back into the girl. She stuffs the fingers back into the girl's mouth.
Oh no!
Oh well, thank you, Nicole Koss. That's the public subscriber sound that plays. What was I saying? But no, I love disc work on the character designs. That's why I like dog-based characters, like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, so that's why I like Corvus's design so much. So, having to be a core part of her characters... Because I like the idea of, like, skin graphing. I think that's really interesting, and I think that can make them really cool character designs. If, you have a character who's, like, let's say you had a villain. Like, one of those... You know, there's always a muscle character in a villain group. A lot of times, if you have, like, a muscle character for a cult, you had, like, him, like, a really pale guy and a really dark-skinned guy, and... both of them are like the muscle, and what they do is they graft parts of each other's skins onto each other. You know, like how some people do blood oaths, these people do skin grafting oaths. I think that would be a really, like, cool concept to dabble with, especially with your villains, since it's like, because, like, medical horror, I think, is an untapped well. The only two things off the top of my head would be, the Autopsy of Jane Doe and the Autopsy in Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosity. No, of course. How could I forget? I haven't watched it. But, technically, the ultimate medical horror would be, Human Centipede, if you think about it. Let's get back to the story. I've been all across Anastasia. That's the best pronunciation you're gonna get from me, chat. And not once have I seen nothing like this. The victorious gorilla takes over the bandit spot. A few of them sit around the execution platform, watching the girl fiddle with her fingers.
Shiv.
She brushes over the seam between the severed fingers and her palms, pulling them together with ease. Though leaves a visible line of stitching, her fingers begin to move freely, as they were never severed. You reattach them, just like that. She should have joined the medical field, instead of being a train conductor. That's how good her ability is. Yeah, I watched a review of it. I watched a review of the movie, and I'm like, I think I'm good enough. I don't think I need to actually sit down and watch the film. The scrawny youth nicknamed Stefan. The shepherd leans in with a wide eyes socked, staring at her fingers as if they were a magic trick. See, I was great. The one man of being dyslexic is I can misread people's sentences and not catch the fact that they're misspelled, because when you said that's not a spell, I'm like, oh yeah, that isn't how it's spelled. Because centipede. Ha ha ha, shepherd. Go on, fetch your weed. Let's see what herb can do that. The bearded man kicks shepherd, who clouses his sore side and shuffles to give him a spare. A small man tugs along behind the bearded giant as he moves his way up to his boss. That trick's pretty impressive. Can you heal others too? The girl nods and grabs a piece of hard bread beside her and wolfs it down. Slow down. You're afraid you'll swallow these fingers of yours. Todor! Here. Was it a woman who did the review? Big Wills, I don't know that. Because I watched a woman review it. And she did an in-depth review of the first film. Go on, Todor. Fetch a basin of water. The man's scowl is barely visible beneath his brown beard, as thick as a lion's mane. He leaves with his lackeys. Where does he come from? She lowers her head, trying to keep her eyes level with the girl's face. Yeah, I can see that centipede. Oh, look, yeah, because, you know, they do pun names with animals. Like cat, friend. Hey, Kate. There's Catelyn. Catelyn's Tully. Whew, that's better. But the girl kept gobbling down the food, ignoring her questions. Are you all by yourself? Still no answer. Her cheeks bulge like a drum. Watching this, the woman can't help but pat the girl's cheeks a few times. Yeah, I watched one movie. I watched a video that only covered the first film. The girl looks confused. It doesn't feel like a strike of anger, more like a friendly greeting. Hey, what's your name? Water's here. The girl takes the basin full of water and plunges her head into for a gulp. That's how my dog drinks! My dog drinks water by drowning himself. He just full snoot into the water and just starts gulping. And I'm like, aren't you... You're gonna inhale it. No, don't. That's not for drinking. From a distance, Shepherd shouts in panic, but just shrieks under the Tordor's glaze. He mumbles an explanation instead. It's not clean. Huh? The girl stops to stare at the reflection in the basin. I have no name. I don't know where I come from.
Then...
You can join us. You seem to be in need of protection, and we certainly are in need of someone with your talent. The girl's ear twists. She glances toward the woman, then suddenly bolts. One of the best scenes in Hotel, American Horror Story Hotel, minor spoiler for Hotel, a damn near 11-year-old show, season of television, was when the junkie girl, while being high with her two junkie friends, she sews herself to them, while like super out of it. I forget what they were on. I think they were on heroin or something. And then they both overdose. So then she is trapped in the hotel room with sewn to two dead corpses for I think like a day before she finally gets the guts to break free from the stitches she's done to them and herself. Stop her. Like, American Horror Story Hotel came out, like, I think a few months before I went on vacation, I watched like the first episode, and of course all the teasers. And that's the one I was still like a pussy when it came to horror. So going on vacation afterwards, I'm like, I just stared at my mattress and I'm like, what do I do if there's a body in there? Same thing when I went to go get ice, because my dad would be like, hey, go get some ice for me for us down the hall. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I just started walking down those like very liminal halls that all look the same. You're just like, don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it. Let's see, I like how in the book Catelyn has the first chapter and she gets... Okay, you're not wrong. Everything you stated was true. But just reading that comment killed me, Juan. My favorite thing is Cersei. I think Kat is a great leader. It's an extremely well-written character. To be extremely infuriating at times was, I think, but also that's the thing. She loves her children so much, and that's great. And then she looks, of course, Jon is not one of her children, and because Jon's a bastard, she's just like, endlessly on him. And it's not just Jon, because in her mind, it's Ed's unfaithfulness that she sees every time she sees him. Like, that poor mountain girl sees it, goes off on her when going to go see Eliza. It's like, this dumb bitch, kind of like, this constantly, like, girl, what is your problem? She is helping you up the mountain. Can you please not? Like, at least she was smart enough not to verbally tell this girl what she thought of her, but still, just reading her thoughts, I'm like, ma'am, chill. But the entire squad is filled with ragtag soldiers. She securely makes it 2 steps before hulking Tardo or seizes her. Careful with her hand! Right. Despite her frantic struggle, she winds up bound and brought back to the guerrilla fighters. We're not the bad guys. You're no different from those bandits. You use guns to get what you want. That's not true. I heard everything back there. You're a stray, aren't you? Just another victim of the damn war.
We are on the same side.
I try to validate her in this guerrilla fighter bit. We're your people. I think they took some of the model of Kalibana and used her for that. Have you seen, speaking of woods, have you seen, that one, the Japanese artist, the woman who does the art, the woman who did the art for the Japanese releases of, A Game of Thrones? Have you seen the way, Song of Fire and Ice, the way she draws, Cersei in A Feast for Crows? Wait, no, speaking of Cersei, have you seen the way the armor she gives? The armor she gives, what's his face, Jamie. One second, let me look it up real quick. This is something I'll chat. Something else, indeed. Save the image. Save. Save image. Save. So where did I get save to? That's gonna go. I'm gonna make a new folder just so it'll be easier for me to find all these. Ice and fire. Song of Ice Fire, Song of Ice Fire. Save. 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 Where is... Okay, I'm missing one. I'm missing, there she is. Save. Or is it the field? Here is the field for works. Thing. Window. Picks. Okay. Break down. Okay, so here we go. I think that it's done by the same woman who did the rest of them, but I know the rest of these were done by her. The same woman. So this is John. She gives him a very elaborate armor, and she makes him wide. Jamie. But, here's her Cersei. For Feast of Crows. Really emphasizing the wino part of her nature. And here's Daenerys. With a very skinny dragon. And then here's her version of Tyrion. You get I like the little detail of the lion, and then the coat and stuff. And then, this is, Sam. But no, I forget what Game of Thrones YouTuber it was, but they went through a bunch of different countries' covers of the books. It was a really good video. Live stream. That came out, like, I think 4 years ago? Yeah, I know, it's a very elaborate armor. She lowers her head and watches the ripple with each step she takes. The water stirs up against the basin's edge, splashing briefly onto the rebound. It stirs even more.
I won't.
I won't bleed for them. I'll protect that tavern keeper, and what did I get? I don't need you to fight for them. I only need you to keep us alive. Why? Just so you can rip this land apart piece by piece?
Could it be?
How are you any different from those bandits, or the occupational forces? Yeah, that's pre beer gut on Cersei when she gets, because I think it's in a dance of dragons that she gets too fat for her dresses, because of how much wine she's been drinking. I forget when that happens, but I know they copy the same scene from book 1, so I'm pretty sure it's because of the wine that she can't fit in her dresses anymore. This is our home, and it can be your home too. Igalka. You don't want to wonder anymore.
My name is Iglika.
Igliga. Okay, there we go. Not rat, not slave. Igiga. That's my name. Wash the blood off your face and hands and pour out the basin. Todora will fetch you some fresh water later so you can bathe. Ingen sets the basin down on the crumbled table. Her shelter is an old gatehouse, damaged in some forgotten battle, but still able to keep out the wind and rain. I won't go to the front. I only treat the wounds you bring back. That is our deal. Separate lurks at the distance, both eager and fearful, eyeing the new doctor in their ranks. I never break my word, but since you joined us, you follow the rules, and you address me properly.
Yes.
Captain Nasa. Yeah, that's basically circle. The first one you wrote it, the circle without an L, basically. Isn't Cersei spelled like Ursay? Cersei. That was first. Oh, no, Ursay is not spelled with an I-E. I thought it was. No, okay, yeah, Ursay is spelled Urfsey. I thought it was spelled with an I-E, an E-I for some reason. Oh, you probably would have loved to roast her. You're going to make a little home for our own here. To a little girl who grew up displaced, who never knew care from anyone else, that promise almost felt real. You know, the King's Guard wasn't $25 on Steam. Let me make sure. Oh wait, it's free now. It used to be $20. Okay, guess I know what I'm streaming down the road. Can I have it on my phone? 60 gigs. I have it on my phone. I haven't played that much of it. Just going to see it, try it out. But I will, see about downloading the King's Road and playing that on stream one of these days. Because last time I saw it, back when the game first came out on mobile, it was $4. It was like $24. It's probably not going to be that good. Like I said, I barely played it on my phone, and so far it's very much Western Mobile Game.jpg. So, but I was thinking it might be a fun thing to stream. Using her arcane skills, Corvus can reconnect blood vessels and stitch the pace and damage tissues. The blood must flow from the starting node. Use blood vessel section cannot node section to connect the straight node to terminal nodes. These are available blood type vessels. Drag the section to an empty space to the blood to draw a straight node. Necrotic areas cannot have blood vessel sections placed on them. Ew, I love the stuff like this. I probably want some more hits. I need to look up the. I can't wait to get to the hit part of the history book that deal with the Ironborn, because I love Ironborn lore, because it's just Lovecraft. That's all it is. It's just Lovecraft with Dagon, the sea gods, fist people. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's better. It is a home, though it is neither warm nor safe, and after every skirmish, Ingrid's room will end up looking worse than a battlefield. The whole band squeezed in, soldiers spilling out past the doorframe and into the yard. Her gatehouse is made of a camp hospital, made even worse in moments like this when those who come along cannot bring themselves to. Maybe it is to witness Ingrid's miraculous singing skills, but more than that, their comrades' scream compels them. Their comrades' scream compels them to stay. Oh, excuse me.
Shut up.
Tordor's curled face twists up with each scream. Step by step, he positions himself behind his lackey, Kyriel, looking everywhere but at the scene. Even your beard's quivering. Shut up. When she fixes herself up, it didn't look like it hurt that much. Step her to give me something. Coming. Oh, he very much loves the crafts. At the captain's cell, Stepper tumbles out a vial of powder from his pocket and pours it into her mouth. It's a chalk. The pain and powder cause her to hawk up violently, yellow dust filling the room.
Stop moving or the seam will be crooked.
In the chaos, Ingrid alone stays calm, cold, even like an icon, carved from stone, untouched by feeling, untouched by the cries of all around her. Like, speaking of icon, not to spoil too much, I will public about it in the Discord, but me and Marcy did watch Aztec Batman. It was, again, not to spoil the things I've not already spoiled in the Discord. It was absolute trash fire. Complete garbage. We recorded our reaction, so I will make a video on it. Like the Ruby videos. But it was so bad, like, it had, like, basic editing mistakes bad. Like, it's amazing. Almost. Let's see, fun fact, apparently in the health post points, Lovecraft was so autistic that his wife had to bribe him with books for foreplay for him to actually bring her. Well, yeah, like, a dude with, like, borderline, like, definitely had a bunch of mental. It's usually, I think he'd probably borderline schizophrenic with how he talked about seeing fairies in the woods and gnomes running around when he was a little kid, so, yeah. And some of those people have really, some of the people can get really funny. Some of the people get really, like, it's weird. They want to, but they don't at the same time, so they have to basically be like, it's very weird how some of the people can be, like, some of the crazy people can be when it comes to actually, like romantic, like, intimate things. They're like, well, they want to. It's kind of like almost like a roller coaster to them. They want to go on it, but they're too scared, so they have to have someone coax them on the roller coaster. So, like, again, example, his wife. It's fascinating to see the people. In the chaos, Ingrid stood alone, stayed calm, cold, even like, that part. She cradled her captain's severed arm and stitched with precision. A spark flashed from Ingrid's fingertips and then pulled back into a place. A ring of stitch marks remain around the joint.
It's done.
With the treatment finished. And then you have people like Smorky, who was a complete sex fiend, but the wig stayed on during sex and the light stayed out, if I remember correctly. No, I know the wig stayed on, I think the clothes also stayed on. Either the clothes stayed on or the lights went off, one of the two, but it's really hard to remember. It's hard to remember which one it was, and also hard to know how reliable, like, the wig staying on totally makes sense, but it's hard to know how reliable the information was, being the fact that he was dating an actual schizophrenic woman. So it's one of those things where it's like, I believe he's crazy, and we 100% know Morky was crazy, but how much of the information you're giving us is reliable, that's because you would constantly be off your meds. Partly his fault, partly, your fault kind of thing. So it was an example of everybody was an unreliable narrator. And then you got Lotax, the most quote-unquote reliable narrator, just strung out on Ambien and box wine. At least I think he was already strung out on Ambien and box wine by the time Smorky's relationship got bad. I forget in my timeline, when did he start abusing painkillers? With the treatment finished, she gestures flatly for the next patient. Nasa struggles to her feet, pain eased but not gone. With two fighters rushed in, a boy missing a leg. How are you, Captain? Yeah, kind of. Like I said, it's the one with the feet. Like I said, so it's a kind of performance anxiety. I feel like the best way to describe it for normal people would probably be performance anxiety. But it's a little, like I said, it's every schizophrenic person's, every like mentally ill person's different. So it's a case by case situation with them. But like I said, this is me as an outsider looking in, trying to gather and trying to make some sense on what their mindsets are. Seeing her stumble, separate hurls steady her, only to get kicked away. Oops, that on un ton man. Okay, you're supposed to pour it on the wound. My tongue's numb. The troop clear space and move Nasa off the table, leaving Ingrid holding the boy's severed leg, measuring it against the stump. Sorry, this is really funny.
Leg
isn't yours. What does it matter? It's a leg. It's a leg.
No.
Hey!
What do you mean, no? It's a leg. We're running out of time. No, he will die. Ingrid lands her cold eyes on the two frantic adults beside the boy.
It is not permitted.
You don't have to defile someone's body like that. Death grips will come for him, seizing him with ice and fire until... Ice and fire! Well, technically, again, that's the... Well... Yeah, because don't you need an organ of... So, I know... Compatibility with organs is weird. I just know that women have a better time accepting male organs, if I remember correctly, than males have to accepting female organs. I think because the immune system on Will they accept them more? But yeah, no, and I think for hearts, I think for certain organs, if they're not the right blood type, I think for organs you need to have the organ of the right blood type, or I think for some organs, can't you flush them out, and then, flush the old blood out and flush with new blood? Like, I would have to re-look up all my knowledge. I looked up organ transplant when I was a kid, and I forget most of it. And by kid, I mean somewhere in my teens. Cause it was definitely after 2013, because I did a bunch of research in response to Angel Beats. The two men look ready to argue, words tipping on their tongues, but in the end, they swallow them.
Shoot.
What are we standing here for? Go find the right leg! This is hilarious. The gorillas rust out, leaving only Ingrid with the dead limb in her hands. She's like, time to add it to my collection. This is the last of the wounded. Everyone else has gone up to search for the missing leg. Ingrid's look seems to realize once again she is always alone. Nasa sees Ingrid a puzzled look, pulling a twig from her hair and poking it. Her with it. Oh. Her thoughts were broken by the childish prank and returned to Nasa as an annoyed glance. So, the little doctor does feel pain. You don't show a single expression while you're stitching me. I couldn't handle it. She muttered to the man. Oh, she muttered to her man, waving them out of the room. Go! If there's any news, come back and tell me right away. Even calm days, Ingrid's gatehouse is never fully quiet. No amount of cold, detached glare seemed to stop them from arriving. Mm-hmm. When I was studying at the military academy, my hometown was raided. They said they kept me enrolled. Then headmaster's still waiting for me to drive these bandits out so I can return. Do you know what rank I'll get when I finish, Major? Whenever Ivan gets to the point, it gets sifty in the metal, pulling onto his chest jingles with the movement. I'm an 8. Hey. I am not 8 Kellogg's in forever. I was probably snacking on popcorn to be more realistic. Cause I do be munching on popcorn. You're forgetting I got Grey's Anatomy as a Christmas present on here. I still need to finish reading it. And then like I said, I have really bad motor skills, so I can never have been a doctor. Also, do you really want to dyslexic retard reading the patients, reading out what medications you need? But we don't even have our artilleries here. Someday. But I do like the cereal joke. That is very funny. Cereal. Don't you love homophones? It's like wait and wait. His voice drops as he starts one of his medals with his fingers. You know, these medals only top performers get them. This one's for the best trainee in camp. Trainee, not tranny. This is one for the class representative. On sunny days, Ivan always dropped by to greet her, and the conversation always circled back to that destroyed hometown. Have you ever been up to the west? Oh, good for your dad. The nurses had made sure to the Sharpie every correct limb. Like, the right leg, put a big old X on the right leg. This one, not the other, and the right, no, on the other leg. Sometimes the visitors are far noisier. The best place in the camp, huh? I'm telling you, you got quite the setup. My boss had his eye on that spot first, you know.
Then,
Shall I give it back to you? She sits at the table near her bed, like a sentry waiting to receive every visitor. Keep it. You're right if we have already found a better one. He folds his arm, playing at a 40, placing Ingrid in her room, and examining every object in it. Hydra, is the mirror you dragged back from the battlefield enough to admire your beard? Why are you poking around in Ingrid's room too? Gabriella, clear, teasing laugh makes Tordor's face turn liver red, so Creel rushes to the doorway. What are you saying? Don't talk nonsense. Go stitch up your uniform. The little firefly Creel is always fast to react than his heavy-set boss. Tordor's face flushes as he stuffs his bare hand back under his arms, placing circles around the floor. Also, I saw you finished, you're watching the finale of, Welcome to Derry. What did you think of it? But there isn't even a mirror in my room. Bam. Todor pulls a small mirror from his coat and slams it down in front of her. I knew it. My little sister could never be without a mirror, and neither should you. He stumbles over his words. That's cute. She's about your age. Just use it. Come on. That's adorable. The two leave. He just as noisy as they entered. His hands looked like they were about to explode. She remembered Tordor's flushing face. She thinks he ought to look at himself. But the little mirror only reflects one of Ingrid's eyes, never the whole of Tordor's red, puffed face.
if
It really does explode. Don't react to me stitching it back together. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a little problem with the military in episode 7. Not as bad as they're written in Stranger Things, especially Stranger Things Season 5, but Stranger Things Season 5 Part 2. That Night and Day written differently. And I had a little problem with the way they wrote the natives in episode 4. Where it felt a little too preachy for my liking. But besides those two details, I think it was great. I can't wait for Season 2. It got me to read the actual book, and I'm really enjoying the book so far. I think I talked about it in a different stream. But yeah, they kind of did Mike dirty in both adaptations. I haven't seen technically I haven't seen Part 2. So I don't know how they do Mike in that one, but I really like how inquisitive both kid and adult Mike are. Especially with him, the last guy who stayed in Derry and he's constantly investigating things. I still need to finish Season 3 of Smiling Fronts. I was so busy when it came out that I never got a chance to finish it. Sometimes visitors come late at night, with Nasa always arriving in the glow of candlelight. No patient tonight? Aren't you bored? She slips inside. One hand clutches a wine bottle, the other carrying a roast lamb leg, with a wolfless grin on. Woofus grin on. See, that's the thing. It was Woofus! But I misread it as Woofus, because I grin on her lips. Like I turned out like a fist name. I'll be busy. I've been busy. What? They can't fight without tearing arms off now? Ingrid doesn't answer, only glances at the pile of things stacked in the corner of the room. Huh. You got a stats here. Why not use some of it? That's the point of letting the pile up. Her words are always matched with accent before the sentence is finished. She's already hauling the whole pile over to the table.
I don't want to.
I don't want them. Asa freezes, lowering her face closer to Ingrid, matching her hard stare. She shuffles back, keeping distance between them.
Why?
They gave these things to you. Why not use them? Nothing comes free. You call this free? She points at her body, Her palms, her arms, the calves, all marked with Ingrid's stitching. Yeah, I'm like halfway through. First of all, I'm not gonna. The last episode I watched was it was either the Orb episode or the Mother Nature episode. I don't want to be involved in all of this. Both were really good. It's just the fact that it's one of those shows that I like to get my full attention to. So sometimes I'm like, oh, do I really feel like I'm too tired to get my full attention to something, so I don't watch it. Because we fought bandits, or the occupiers. I don't think you care much about that. Nasha, teasing expression disappeared from her face.
Do you really believe anyone will be grateful?
To throw away your lives for people who have nothing to do with you? To trade your own body just so they can live in peace? Do you really think anyone will thank you for that? Ingrid isn't avoiding Ingrid anymore. Instead, she presses all of her pent-up frustration into words. Nasha sits down, planting both hands on the table between them. For a moment, she takes on something close to a real authority that she claims. What are you so angry about? Caught off guard by the questions, Ingrid falters. She recalls her eyes of the village, their limp body, yet the strength and anger they show with them driving off, starving refugees. She remembers how they feared the guerrillas just as they feared the bandits. All those memories churn. The nameless ray surges up in her. We're not doing this forever. No, we're doing it for ourselves. Yeah, I really like it part 1. What is it, the kids' story? I think it was expertly cast. Like, they picked some really good actor to play the kids. Like, Eddie is like spot on to how he is in the book. It's unreal. And I think they did a good job for Rissi too. Oh no, I was saying, speaking of acting, I was really impressed by all the acting in Welcome to Derry. By the children, because it's really hard. 1, to get good children actors, and then 2, to get good performances out of them. You need to really, the kids need to feel really comfortable with the director for a good, and everybody else on staff to get a good performance out of them. Also let the whole world sink in. To reclaim what we've lost, even if this war never ends, we still have to fight. Otherwise, we'll just keep losing until there's nothing left.
Among those you've protected, how many will agree with your actions?
Yeah. Well, no, wait. And what have you actually gained from all this struggle? Would the people you've protected great?
Don't try to recruit me.
Don't try to rope me in with you. I don't believe in this fight. I don't believe in allies either. You're just a bunch of violent people throwing together by temporary interests. Call yourselves liberators, conquerors, murderers. I don't care. The night ends on a bitter note. Let me spell it out for you. These guerrillas treat you because one way or another, this war has taken away their own children. You are a living reminder of what we fight. And look at these marks. Nasha rolls up her sleeves, revealing the stitches Ingrid left behind. These stitches run deep. Whenever you like it or not, we're already bound yourself up with us. Ingrid stares at the winding scars across her captain's arm. A phantom itch prickling her fingertip. A bond that only thing us is holding together in this room. And the meals we share, nothing more. Not everyone is as naive as you, and I'm long past the age of believing in fairy tales. I only offer my skills because I want to be alive at the end of the day.
It was never brotherhood that kept me alive.
What I really noticed in the book, they do it in the movie, in Welcome to Derry too, they really emphasize how much of a shapeshifter Pennywise is in the books. That part of him is kind of lost. in the movie adaptations where it is, I'm a clown, who occasionally transforms to other things, where in the book he is constantly changing his form. Like the giant bird that attacked Mike. At the old, I think, was the old grain mill that he got attacked at? I think it was the old grain mill. The old factory. Wherever it was. Or everything, like the mummy. And how whether he really does utilize the children's recent fears, or deep-seated fears against them. Since, Ben watches the video. No, was it? Yeah, Ben watches the video of the mummy, and then see the mummy, or how again Mike watched a Godzilla ripoff and got attacked by a bird. Maybe terrible. IDK haven't watched it, but the hardcore you haven't changed anything scene was pretty awesome. See the scene, still better than what they did in the 90s. I'm gonna rewatch the 90s, because the 90s one is nostalgic for me, because it's just those ABC. Stephen King specials are just really funny because I had a really fun time rewatching the Langoliers. In VC. Watching it by myself would be very boring, but watching it with a group of people who rip on it, that made it fun. Especially during the slow moment, because, oh dear lord, the Langolier did not need to be 3 hours long. That is an hour long to an hour and a half at best. But because of the ABC formatting, it had to been stressed out to 3 hours. And then looks up again, realizing how close she had gotten to her. She throws back her head in a laugh and carries on. You seem like Gabrielle. Did she wash something? No, you smell like Gabrielle. Did she wash something for you? What? Don't worry, it's hardly the worst smell around here. Ingrid half jumps up as he sniffs her clothes, but Nasa stops her as soon as she takes her leave. Ridiculous. They threw themselves into danger and death, cries, chasing after a dream. A fool is existent to pat themselves on the back. Nice. The existing blood vessel section cannot be moved. Okay, so let me do this. Forward. Oh, hold on. Grab the wrong tile. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I figured. 6 parts. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, Christmas Eve. Yeah, sure. The winter blows cold, and quickly the evening snow binding the poor town to the endless distant east. Something faint and hard to name takes shape somehow. The special day is special. Nasa sits on the roof, barking orders while her soldiers burst in and out of the base. Ingrid leans over again, the guardhouse outside, watching them dress up to the ruins around them with scraps of holiday cheer. Regardless of the reason, their fighting continues on over the next year, and over time, their little faces gain a new name. The Tin Soldiers.
Because of me.
They had almost forgotten what death meant. No matter how deep the wounds, as long as they were bleeding when they reached my table, I could put them back together. My kisses spread over them until each of them looked past up Tin Soldiers, an invincible army, like something out of a myth.
Back then,
I only focused on my torn flesh in front of me. I never gave any thought to what it meant. The word invincible turns out someone took it as a challenge. Yeah. Like, but I think of like the Tim Curry version. It's like, ooh, like you see that more as a Tim Curry character than like an actual good like villain. Where again the book does a good job of how much he just torments these children. Like, I really like the chapter where Ben was coming home during the winter. and the birds and stuff. Like, they go, he just, it's good, it's like I said, it makes him, and the show also does a great job in fleshing him out, and his different schemes he uses, like using, the one kid who disappeared in the first episode to lure the kids into the sewer. Try this, Punja, Ingrid. Amidst the stream of people going in and out, a gorilla steps out holding her red belt. She gently wraps it around Ingrid's waist, studying her carefully. You should wear it more red, Ingrid. It suits you. A bit of white embroidery will look even better. She unties it with a smile and slips away. No, they're out there celebrating Christmas Eve like drunken fools. Although one thing I dislike is that people think it can time travel when reality is more like you can see through the time, which is far more interesting. So yes and no. So he can see through time, but he can also so in theory, okay, so it's one of those things where if he can see because they presumably, if I remember correctly, for Pennywise, at least stuff expanded in the Dark Tower series, he can basically see all points in time at once. That's why he considers his death also his birth, and that's why, despite the clown, despite Pennywise the clown not existing until the early 1900s, there's still ideals of Pennywise existing, as a clown even further back, because he's basically, because all of his memories are kind of mushed together. He remembers being, even though he wasn't a clown yet, he remembers being a clown, I think. And that's why they have him, descriptions of him being a clown, I think, in the 1800s, if I remember correctly. I don't remember, because I think in the first book, in the first movie, they even show, like, a description of him. Because wasn't he supposed to be a clown in the scrapped intro of the second film? And that intro was supposed to take place during the Puritan era. But don't quote me on that. But yeah, so the way it's kind of working is, the older versions of the younger, because again, it's more of a time is all happening at once thing with the Dark Tower. Then, it's more, to Pennywise, that he doesn't have to physically travel through time. It's the fact that he has not, because he has basically it's all happening at once for him. It's the equivalent of basically time traveling, or, you know what I mean? It's, what's the word, basically, future events can change the past, basically. Yeah, more like that. Future events can change the past, so Pennywise can act different in the past because of how things happen in the future. That's why he goes after Margie, because he's like, well, your son's gonna kill me in the future, so I need to kill you in the past, kind of thing. So it's like, it's being psychic, but on crack, basically. Yeah, so yeah, that's the way I can describe it. It's like being psychic on crack or Dr. Manhattan. Omnipresent means at all places at once. Pennywise would be omniscient. Omnipresent and omniscient are two different things. So Gunther would be like God would be considered omnipresent and omniscient, because he's everywhere at once and also sees everything. Where some people, in writing, some characters can be omnipresent and some characters can be omniscient. And some characters can be both. Where, Manhattan is only omniscient because he can only see all of himself at once. Now, because his teleportation abilities, and he basically is inferior, he's, in practice, he's omnipresent because he can just go anywhere he wants to. But his actual ability is omniscience. See? So noisy. It's quieter here. She brushes snow off a rock outside the courtyard and sits down. After a while, the cold seeps in through her boots into her flesh. Ingrid. The girl turns through the mist of her breath. She sees a face, the red belt in her hand shining bright against the snow. What are you doing sitting out here? Ingrid stared out toward the town. The guerrillas can't risk staying in the small town itself. There's always a risk that the occupiers might arrive. Instead, they set up a camp in the old woodcutters' camp on the side of the barren slope. It's all good. Singing carols. Smoke curled from chimneys. Someone carried a bundle of straw to lay on the floor. Not a fan of the season? She sits beside Ingrid, holding the belt against her waist before pulling out a needle and thread.
Is it because...
I wonder why you are. Do you really believe in all this stuff about God? Sometimes I struggle too, but I believe even my doubts are part of His will. She folds her hands and bows her head in prayer. Ingrid watches the snow flakes settling in Gabriella's messy hair. You there, Todor! Nasa. The voice rings from afar, and up the slope trundles Todor, a massive bundle of straw on his back. Boss, hand over some of those. You're carrying them all the way up here? You think you can carry all of them yourself? Even out of breath, Todor still finds the strength to kick Kirill aside. Kirill stumbles but follows. The two exchange a brief greeting before pressing by the two girls sitting there. I have to believe the good word could benefit even someone as thick-headed as Hydra. Dusk falls on the foots of the mountain. The carolers have already visited free homes, but they never climb up here. Behind them, Nasa's voice keeps ringing out as the squad. Ingrid looks back, catching the scent of a bean soup. I had bean soup last night. What about the captain then? Why she's so fond of Christmas Eve? Ingrid looks back at Gabriella. I don't really take her for the true believer. She just wants to fight the occupiers. She thinks of it as time to pull us all together. Gabrielle presses her needle against her lips in thought. To celebrate our heritage and remind us where we come from, and to show those trying to carve us apart, even if they tear us away by force, our spirit will always bind us together. Her brow kins, carrying the same expression Nasa wears when barking orders.
Seems that...
Let's see, I heard someone propose that sometime in the show, it will actually manage to kill an ancestor of the Losers Club. Yeah, the video I was watching was speculating what if it could be like someone like, what's the girl? The pickle girl. I get her name. Marcy's friend. How can I'm running a blank. It's not Nancy. Is it Nancy? Nancy. But yeah, because time travel does exist in, because don't get me wrong, time travel does exist in, the Dairy verse. Being the fact that, 11, 23, 63, 11, 22, 63, had time travel in it, because that's about a guy trying to stop the, JFK assassinations. And that guy travels back in time to go stop it. Lily, thank you. Travels back in time to stop it, but before he does that, he wants to make sure that, he can change the past, so he goes back to Derry to save his friend from being murdered. And that's where he meets, Bill, and I think he meets, cause again, I haven't read the book, I just did a description someone told me about the book. He meets both Bill and, I think, Marge? But I can't, not Marge, what's her name? The redhead. You know, I'm terrible with names, but tonight. And does manage to save his friend, but his friend ends up dying in Vietnam. Later on. But he uses that as a proof that time travel is he's able to not only, successfully time travel, but also change the past, so he tries to go stop JFK's assassination, but the book ends before we can see if he's successful or not. So, in theory, a character from one of the seasons could actually time travel to a different season. So you could have a character, Beverly, thank you. So yeah, you could have a character from the present day accidentally time travel back to, because the next part will be taking place in the 30s. So you could have a character travel back in time. You have a character from present day accidentally travel back in time to the 30s and be one of the main characters. And that would fit with the canon. But yeah, no. Yeah, again, Beverly the name Beverly the name is not a common name, so it's not gonna be a name I'm gonna remember off the top of my head. The Bill, Richie, Eddie, Ben, Mike, Bill, Richie, Eddie, Ben, Mike, Beverly, Stan. I always forget the Jewish kid name. Stan. Yeah, I always forget the Jewish kid exists. She sounds like she made quite an impression on you. Gabrielle touches her ear and then nods.
We will be bound.
Wait, is Stan or Steve? Our spirit will always bind us back together. The bean soup smell thickens, and Ingrid left out a sarcastic laugh.
You know,
This reminds me, there was a year that I wandered through a city. I found myself in a district celebrating Christmas Eve. That day, a group of kids led me to a big house where a woman was handing out food. We all waited in line forever, and at the end, each of us was served a thin bowl of bean gruel. The woman who passed out the bowls led us in prayer of thanks to the Lord for our food. She made us, sir. Each of us said, it too. Only then we were allowed to eat. I sat there mouthing the words as she went on and on. I can't remember what saint she was talking about or why it should matter, but I remember the smell. A pair of cold rendering hands pat Ingrid's knee. What is that? Ingrid's gaze follows her hand up until she meets Gabrielle's eyes. Doesn't sound like the best memory, but now you have something new to think about. When you smell these beans again, maybe that's what Nasa was talking about, huh? My sister. Gabrielle's face is cold, but Ingrid cannot tell whose feels colder. Wait here for me, alright? The belt is almost done. The thread has run out, the needle dangling from the red cloth as her body shifts. I'll be right back. She ran back, leaving Ingrid only then aware of her warmth. It's cold. Night settles, the winter woods feels lonesome than ever. Down! Get down! Also, warning cuts through the air. Gabriella's probably dead. R.I.P. Gabriella. Ingrid cannot make sense of any words that are said. The chaos around her comes as muffled noise rising up through the silence. Shrouds of brick smash into her back. She turns to see Nasa waving for Ivan to rush over. Ivan gestures to her, but finding no answer, simply grabs Ingrid by the waist and pulls her into a run. Huh? She tries to wiggle out of his grasp, but he simply pulls her tighter. Her words can make no noise against the ringing in her ears. Still, she refuses to be dragged away, placing a hand on the tree, stitching herself to the trunk. A start of bark comes off as she yoinks down behind the reds. Oh, that's great. Sorry. I'm not laughing thing, but it's absurd. The night is silent, but the scene is unholy. The village is lit only by the dying flickers of flames. Ingrid arrives to find Nasa atop the ruin, grimly surveying the scene. Others are digging through the rubble, searching for survivors. It seems not a single one escaped uninjured. Shepherd hurriedly tended to the wounded, sunsetting cuts and bullet holes with rags, and that reek of herbal medicine.
What happened?
Nasa doesn't look up. She yanks a dirty cloth tight around the gas that runs down her arm. You occupiers ambushed us. I still don't know how they got through our sentries. Where's Gabrielle? There are people that need your help now. The sharp ringing seems to return, rising in step with the frustration. The smell of the damn bean soup is still caught in her nose. She runs towards her old guardhouse in part of her duty and part of her hope, scrubbing past bodies, still half, one on her arm with 2 stitch marks. Dintamer. The rider faster than me looked like she's a beauty. One on the left thigh, shorter than the right. Blue hen. Scum, wipe your damn face. One thin arm, no wounded, no tattoo. Creel. Out, boss, out! One with thick brown beard. Where's my little sister?
Iglika!
Iglika. Okay, that's her name. Why do I remember every word they say? Iglika.
This is...
Tudor. Nasha strides over and drags her out of the ruins. And Mihila, where's Gabriella? She's gone. Nasha offers her a blood-soaked belt, crusted with sand and stone, the stains glimmering in the firelight. Shrapnel. It went straight through her skull. Not even you can repair that. Iglika collapses to her knees. Iglika. I want a gun. Let them taste death too. I'll stitch their faces to their damn boots. Sparks craze as her fingertips the air faint, with a smile of burning. That wasn't part of our deal. The sting on her cheek leaves Iglika dazed. Now, if you don't want to lose more comrades, you better help separate. Iglika stares blankly towards the firelight, though the blur of tears she sees a dark figure rustling about. If you have even a shred of sense left. Nasa brushes her swollen cheek. You know these hands of yours weren't made for killing. The square one. She was right. By the end of the night, we lost over half our men, and the enemy was clearly prepared to return. We fall back to Thermopylae. On my knees in the snow and mud, stained back by the fire and red with blood, Nasha spoke words that filled me with shame. At that moment, I'm sure I wanted vengeance. Thermopylae, a rich and beautiful city, at least the standard of time. Whenever I think back to it, I can still see the sunlight glinting off the sea. I think I must have been at dusk. That's from chapter 6 or 7, because they both take place on the island. Now I know it is really dusk. Iglika passes the roof beams. The purses on the roof beams, staring toward the glittering sea. The winter sun leaves the water languid and tranquil, almost like it was made of ice. It's not even my congestion arc begins. It's my congestion arc never ends. The damn cold. It makes my nose, fills my nose up. It just hits my sinuses like a sledgehammer. So I'm constantly snorting my own snot. It's either that or you guys can hear me blow my nose, or I'm constantly muting my mic to blow my nose, and I forget that I'm muted and I read, and then people tell me after I'm done reading an entire part that I was muted, so then I have to go back and reread that part. What's happened with Sentinel's story? I was like so embarrassed, like, no, like I had to go, you know what I mean? Like, it was quite funny, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. She pulls the belt from her pocket It is a travesty of blood stain and dirt, but she can't face herself towards it.
Gabriella.
I remember you said you didn't want to visit. No, I remember you said you'd like to visit once we won the war, but you didn't win, did you, Gabriella? It was December 30th by the Julian calendar that Nasa brought what remained of their troop to the city. Nasa disappeared. She said it was to report to headquarters, though the notion they had been a part of any formal army confused her. She was left alone in the back streets watching countless unfamiliar faces pass below her perch. Ilika, Ilika! I thought for a while that she must have run away, but 2 days later I heard her voice again. Nasa looks rougher than she had before, but nevertheless energetic as she rushes towards her. Ilika, Ilika! She was some wild woman, clutching a fat rabbit, only her catch seemed to be a stack of rolled up documents. We're not beating yet. The words barely leave her lips before. And that was in chapter 6. No, chapter 8. While she rests in the hospital, I was tasked with being recruitment.
Rather than...
She directed me to the station, though it has soon become clear it was far from anything I expected. I began to understand the organization was more secretive than I knew. She finds herself in a church surrounded by young men and women no older than her. Some are younger, none of them look ready. Solemn oaths are sworn, and the choosing begins. You, and you. The chosen march proudly behind him, mimicking the older soldiers' steely and grim expression. He leads them to the corner of the underground chambers, a spot where they can look out over the Everts with a strange and dark sense of hostility. I never step up. Her demeanor entirely differs from no less joyless as she begins her selection. Arcanist, step forward. Several of the young recruitments obey. She quizzes each one about their arcane skills and takes a pick from them. Ever comrades whisper, and then, one by one, claim more recruits. The number dwindles. Those left to be chosen stand awkwardly in the winding space. In the silence, two of the elders presiding over the recruitments trade glances. One walks up to Ilika. What unit do you represent?
Nusha.
Oh, Nusha, that's how you pronounce it. I see. I see. These are your recruitments then. Girl, then you are a fine soldier. No, they'll make fine soldiers, every one of them. He beckons the Sai youths forward. No. Ilika steps back, refusing to meet their eyes. Those weren't soldiers. They are the walking dead. They weren't marching to the war of glory, just to our graves, to blood-soaked snow, charred ruins. I'm not Nusa. I can't take their lives into my hand. I cannot bear their deaths. The elder father, it faltered at her rejection. This was just a trick. From the very beginning, she dragged me deeper into this marine, so I wouldn't find myself bound to them, just like I was before, to make me care, so I wouldn't throw away my own life for them.
And she was right.
Fine, I will. The rest of these recruitments are mine. She turns to face the doorway, where Nasa stands steadily against the frame. For our homeland.
Permission to enter.
Nusa, come in. These are the files you wanted. Good work. Ilika lays down the thick stack of papers, but doesn't leave. What is it? Ilika studies the woman calm, steady, too calm. Only feels her anger.
Why?
Why did you send me there? I needed someone I could trust, that's all. That's not it. I'm not going to be like you. What are you talking about? You think I don't see it? You wanted me to go to task so that I would carry their lives with me, just like you do. Because now, She sees 1,000 stitches running from her body to a body. No, from body to body, a homunculus of corpses wearing her seams. Their quinks. They resemble words, their dreams, their homes. Their corks. I didn't read it. Their corks, their rambling words, their dreams, their homes. Are you scared? Scared? Ingrid lets out a scornful snort, then frowns at her own anger. What is it you're resisting? If I took my lesson from her, it was cutting straight to the point. Will I have to sniff myself together before you are satisfied? She takes a step back, avoiding the captain's sharp glare. I'm afraid, is that enough? I don't want to start over. I don't want to lose everything again. I doubt I'll ever be able to feel warmth on Christmas morning again. Every body we found, each one stabbed with warmth from some warmth from me that I think I might never find again. And now we just do it again? With kids? Stupid kids? That think this war is a game? They have no idea what's waiting for them. Yes. So, that's our arcane skill. Extreme. So, extreme, stitching. So, she's able to reattack people's limbs perfectly. And like I said, she's used the ability to stitch two bandits together. And then she also used her ability to, when separated with, trying to get her to safety, she used that ability on her own to try to pin herself to the tree, but she just ended up ripping the bark off of the tree. Ingrid drew the deep breath and looked up at Nasa. I feel as though she's begging for their lives for an angry god. Are you willing to watch them die? For a moment, a flicker of pity passed through Nasa's eyes, but it shrunk back into the darkness of her brow. They chose to join us. There's no one else willing to fight. I won't watch them die. Ingrid rises abruptly. Iliga. Blame me if you like, but you want this too, Iliga. You told me then that you want to do your part. You chose to remember them, to avenge them. Iliga finds herself at loss for words. She slides down against the table leg until she's seated on the floor. She her pocket balls with the red belt, dropping from against the ground. You will keep remembering them. You will soon remember more. You'll leave your mark on new bodies to keep them fighting. Tell me, do you really want to leave, or do you want to come looking for the excuse to stay? See, see what I've done. Oh yeah. See, we just started showing the those Cronenberg creatures in chapter 11. She could have 10. She could have just started sewing them together. The demon. I mean, Demon Slayer. Because there's Demon Hunter K-pop Demon Hunter, and then there's Demon Slayer. Or I'm at 80s Demon Hunter OVA. Alika buries her head in the arms. Tears drip into the dust. I'm just afraid because I want to train with the recruits. At least I think it's called Demon Hunter. Well, they're City Hunters, but that's an anime and soft manga. I won't bleed for them. I'll protect the Tavern Keeper. And what did I get? I put Ever's life before my own. I want revenge.
I must protect them.
I want to protect them. Then you will. And just like Nasa said, I remember more and more people, but this time I saw their faces first. They made each loss even more vivid. I keep wishing I could mend that red belt, so I start wrestling with her old needle and thread. I guess I ended up with a knack of stitching up more than one time. Eventually, words got around until one day, side recruits asked me to repair a hole in their pants. I unpacked my stitches and passed it up, no different than if it had been an arm or a leg. In the moment, I finally understood Gabriella. I was completely completely wrong on this one. Let's see. Under paste. Oh, I've seen their logo. I've seen their. I don't think I've listened to any of their stuff, but I've seen their logo around. I'll check out anything. Excuse me. Any album recommendations? From winter to summer, another kind of stitching began to spread across the recruits, something that brought people together in trust. They left far because scars. No. They left far better scars than the other kind. Return to the battlefield. Oh. Through long days of training and scattered skirmishes, I began to accept what I had lost and what I had to lose. In the end, I found memories were like a hard stone. All I could do was warp them in flesh and blood, leaving time and pursing to smooth their edges. But no amount of time could quiet the vengeance I felt as the occupiers who took them from me. This fight was never my case, not until the cold Christmas morning. But soon Nasa brought up some good news. The final assault is set for August. This battle will decide it all. If we take... The Lord is testing me. How is these words? We're Googling this. Oh, I forgot that. Yes. Z-E. Oh, what did I get? Z-E. Oh, I have to put an extra. No. So this is. So, Polish will say Czeseve, where English would be Czesowo. Czeseve. We build a home, our home. Freedom at last. Their young voices rose in consent, as their cheers alone could rebuild the war-torn nation. We were embodied as part of the larger attack group. The whole unit was preparing, gathering weapons, scouting terrain. But from the first gunshot, we all knew something was wrong. We were stopped by the outside city, unable to break the first line. Take cover. I need those trenches reinforced. Where the hell is the third company? No contract. I'm in the roaring bombardment. The only way to exchange information is to scream at full volume. And the other companies? 2nd and 5th are cut off and under fire. 6 told us they're too busy to babysit humans. Crap. None of these damn times. They want to bring up the humans and Arcane divide? Alika stands before the captain, bewildered and shocked. She had limited contract with other commanders. She's coming in heavy with the West captain. Machines, gunners.
No matter how.
Somehow we forgot in all these years fighting, just as we kept ourselves satisfied with ambushes and minor skirmishes. The occupiers were scattered thin, but they were disciplined, and had heavy weapons.
Soon enough.
Our assaults were staggered by sudden counterattack. Raising guerrillas provided little masks for artillery and shock troops, but it seemed somehow it got worse. We soon realized we were surrounded. Bullets skimmed just over the heads as Ilika and Nasa crouched in the shallow foxhole. We can't do anything as long as they have that artillery. She can barely hear her own voice as the screams. Find whoever you can and regroup here. What? Humans, Arcanists, whatever, everyone. The only way we can survive, is to end this. You and you. Pick 2 men of your own. We're forming an 8-man assault squad. She poked her head out to call 2 veterans forward, but she's forced back immediately by gunfire. What are you doing? I'm taking care of that artillery. She moves to climb out. Ilika yanks her back.
What are you going to do?
How? In her panic, Ilika's arcane skill sparks binding Arling's collar to her hand. Fix my collar when I get back. Then I'll fix my clothes when I get back. She rips free and crawls out from the carter, leaving only her warders behind. There's an armory that way. Watch from the smoke.
Hey!
Wait! But Nasa is already too far away to fall back. What do we do? An ever blast rattles the ground as she stares out toward Nasa. Her little squad has assembled in the foxhole behind her. She slams a fist into the muddy crater in frustration. Advance! 11 o'clock. The crawl hundreds of meters beneath a storm of bullets reaching the wall in a derelict slum.
Halt.
She signals to stop. From the second floor of a ruin, frenzy shooting erupts. What is it? We need to get up there. England gestured with a few remaining recruits to flank left and right. They moved with the silent coordination toward the building. Once in position, they all waited. Her signal. Ready? She mimicked a throwing motion, then hurled a helmet opposite. Opposite their approach. Go! The recruitment charged into the ruins like Ilika and dart forward into the opening. Human Arcanists, whatever, that implied there's an awkward army. That would be interesting. No, Awaken army. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. So technically Awaken count as Arcanists since the Arcane is what awakens them. But yeah, at least I assume so, yeah. They technically labeled under Arcanist. I think people tend to lump everything under Arcanist, even though Beyonders or Infected would count, or separate classes. But no, then imagine an asshole army of tin soldiers all awakened. I wonder if multiple objects can share the same concept. Imagine if they ran into like a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or a Herbie. So like an awakened car. That'd be a funny unit to have. Just car. I'll take you over. I'll take you all with me. Separate? You? The second floor. The recruit pinned down a thin man who refused to drop his rifle. Ikla voiced his strength to give out, and then all clap in a heap. Igla. They're dead. Beneath the pile, a mutter sob steps out. The recruits scramble up, revealing Sepper's spawn on the floor in tears. Around him lie empty rifles scattered across the ground. My herbs, they couldn't stop the bleeding. They're dead. Like you said, it's better to feed them to their sheep. It would be better to feed them to the sheep. Where are the others? So we didn't have awakened tanks, But we did have those tanks that were like infested with Manus Vindictae goop in chapter 11. Which reminded me of the octopus tanks from. It reminded me of the octopus tanks from Death Stranding, and also that monster tank from Fear Thunder 2 that the Sylveon troop commanded. That they went south of the city. Come on, we'll bring them back. Ilika reaches out and pulls Sepper to his feet. Point the way.
Just like that.
So we did, and all I could do. So I did all that I could do, rounding up our scattered comrades. Not many were crazy enough to join us, but the time I reached the city limits, we were nearly at full strength. Knights outside the city. No. Avoiding the searchlight, Ilika finds a blind spot. In the distance, they're waiting. Battle glows and sporadic gunfire into the ceiling. When will the captain signal? Ivan calls up from the rear, searchlight sweeping across the brim of his cap. Since, so I think Sputnik is not considered an Awaken. I had to double check if Sputnik is considered an Awaken, which means technically, that one spaceship. Was it the one that blew up? Was the astronauts in it? What's the name of it? I just remember because there was that video going on YouTube for a while. Because what if Big Bird was part of it? I never actually watched the video, but I kind of seen the thumbnail everywhere. Apollo. Certainly she hasn't. Set up. Lika yanks Sepper's head to back down. What next? Lika stares at Ivan and over the small bond of unfamiliar faces behind him. Their faces blur in shadows, but Ilika can feel it. They're waiting for her to command. She is the only one who gathered them. She's the one who gathered them here, one by one, and once folded into a group, humans instantly follow their leader. And now she has already begun mapping out the battlefield in her head. We needed a square to take that gun. We need a squad to take that gun emplacement. She points to the wall above. Ivan, it's been a while. You've handled a cannon, haven't you? Artilleryman Ivan nods, understanding her plan. The Chandra exploded? I thought it was the Apollo. Gunfire rattles above them, freezing them in place. Blind fire, that's all. She calms the others, then finishes assigning her assault squad. Ilika sinks towards an opening in the fortress and peers in at the defense inside. At this point, we're just writing Toy Story fanfiction, mixed with the war. You're the one. No, you're with me. Once you're in, hold the corridor. The rest will follow. No shooting. The others nod. Ingrid threads a line from her fingertips through a crack in the window, binding the latch. With a faint sound, the window swings open.
Proceed.
Move. The squad slips inside. That's the Xenobates from Chapter 3. They swiftly take down a few careless sentinels. But just as they move to seize the infirmary gun upstairs, the iron gates crack open. An officer steps through. They meet a terrifying stranger. The smile vanishes. The shout rings out once. A panicked young gorilla fires and dies in the... Fire! Get loud! The silence inside has lulled them. They have forgotten the danger they were in. The sudden burst of gunfire jolts Ilika.
Upstairs!
It does. This is from Nightmare at Green Lake. The lighthouse. Dodging shots, they cut down the guards and gunners by the artillery, holding off pursuers drawn in by the noise. But on the terrace, Ilika sees it. the barrel of a cannon, a distant tower turning their away. Boom. Something is exploding in the distance. Boom. But it's funny because by the time of the midnight whistle, she's very familiar with the Xeno officers. She's like, oh, damn these Xenos! I'm not gonna let them get in the way of my plans. And that's why she's constantly hounding Semmelweis, because he's Xeno scum. The explosion comes one after another, too large, too frequent for an artillery barrage. It can only mean one thing. Quick, Ivan! Ignoring the quickness, ignoring the quakes and the looming cannon, Ivan lunges for the tower's own artillery. The quakes. He adjusts the barrel like he has rehearsed 1,000 times, sees the enemy's hesitation and fires first. She orders her squad to help Ivan take the trenches and lay down suppressive fire, letting him unleash a volley after volley. Seeing the enemy's fortifications in flames, the Liberation Front rallies anew their resistance. Rallies anew as soon as they storm the city. But Alika doesn't rush to join them. She turns back towards the blast site.
Comrade,
I have seen Captain Nasa. She moves against the flow towards the explosion, shouting to every fighter charging into the city. None stop to answer. Comrades, have you seen Nasa? I really like the infected. I think that's really interesting concept because that's obviously Nautica, a human, was able to gain superpowers because she got infected, and then Samwise was able to use her arcane skills despite having a weak bloodline because of her getting infected by a Beyonder. Beyonders are also a really interesting subject because they're not they are and are not arcane, is what I gather. Like, they have access to magic, but whatever. So the gene that separates human from arcane, that allows arcane to have magic abilities, I think is slightly different in Beyonders, but I would have to do more research on that. Comrades, have you seen Nasa? She should be here. Chaotic footsteps smoldering flames into ashes. A stream of victorious rebels leap over the rubble to reach the city center. Comrades, she trips a foul source stress hits her nose. She sees what she's fallen over and gasps. A charred corpse, no trace of humanity left. She scrambles up and meaning to ask someone else. Comrade. Elika's voice dies. The fighter sees human Harold, hurries on. Nasa. The trembling. She steps back to the corpse, staring in disbelief at the unrecognizable remains. The blackened limb severed. She fights against the thought that it could be her.
What?
How? How could I even know this body? Is it? She collapsed to the ground. But the breaks in the body, they're all...
Stop moving or the seam will be crooked.
You won't. Why did it hurt even more?
No.
No. She shuffles backward to the ground, horror on her face. Her palm brushed something unfamiliar. Nasa's collar is stitched to her hand. Nasa. She recoils, resisting. Nasa. She shouts, echoes in the ruin, drawing glares from passing fighters. Nasa. Her strength gives out. The name falls to a whisper. I brought them all back, one by one, everyone. Sorry, Cap. She hopes somehow she could hear her. You're missing over. You did it. Mine done too. Why? Elika? Ivan follows her into the ruin, stepping carefully over scorched ground. Who is this? His voice shakens. He knows Elika wouldn't kneel before any corpse. On the ground, she trembles, staring up at him, unable to speak a single word. If it were the captain, what would she say? She. Come on, how did you get this hungry? You can't eat these. See? A name, a voice, a smile. Do you even picture it would end like this? In her mind, she laughs and grabs Elika's hand, but urges her not to linger, to keep moving. Elika bows her head lower, covering her mouth. She forces herself to speak words she imagines Masa would say. She would give herself to this revolution. Elika, nails dig hard into her cheek to let her rest. Together we stand. For a while after, I still tried to pretend the body couldn't have been hers. It wasn't grief, not really. It was because without her, it felt like nothing could really change. And at the end, I was right. The flags were swapped for a little while, but it was all meant nothing.
We've only...
We held the city for all 6 days. The counterattack began the next morning. Fiercer, unrelenting, the occupiers had pulled up every resource from across their domain. So-called provisional government didn't even get to hold a vote. They were too busy fighting for their lives. Captain, the occupants have broken through on the south side.
Retreat!
There's no sense wasting our lives here. Retreat. The one thing we can get out of that city was Ivan's artillery gun. We made good use of it, just like he said he would. Someday. We returned to Fermakala and Same, but I never expected that I would admit defeat. Our case was already fractured, but by the time we had settled in, there was turning their guns on their own.
What's going on?
What happened? At the docks. Just a scuffle, but it turned ugly. Humans and Arcane, they had kept an uneasy co-alliance up until now. After the failure in Suzu, their hatred only deepened, each blaming the other for their loss. Arcanus was blamed for failing to heed orders and making reckless and costly assistance. While the humans were mocked as weak and cowardly, failures in communication on both sides did little to help. 1 dead, 505 wounded, including civilians. 3 Arcanists have been sentenced to death. Rumor is. Shepard lowers his voice.
Put it simply.
Keep it simple. They wouldn't accept it. They were rebelling. 2, 3, 2, 1, 5. Final fire. It's starting. By the time she reached the yard, one of the prisoners had already collapsed. Stop. People ring the courtyard walls as they turn one like starving wolves, fixing her with hungry eyes, as if she could as if she's the outlet for their rage. This isn't what we're fighting for. The executioner glanced at her, then turned back to the soldiers, signaling them to continue. Careful, Ingrid. They are Arcanists too. 2 free. You just look for You're just looking for a scapegoat. Wait. No one knew who fired or whoever sent the bullet carried. The prisoner on the scaffold was untouched, but the blood poured from the executor's forehead. We're under attack! The squad swings their barrels, and the yard erupts into chaos. Fugitives raised from the walls. It wasn't a one-sided revolt. Both sides had prepared. Dodging the stray bullets, Elika and Shepard retreat beneath the scaffolding. Those must be Boynard's men and Vanson's men. They are the top lieutenants of the humans and Arcanist factions. Edmund hasn't had much time to learn about them. Tell our people, grab that one and that one. points at two who look like leaders. Take them first. Yes, ma'am. The bruise has Peter's inside a wound. When blood enters a bruise point, it goes on the other side. Okay, good to know. There we go.
Stop!
Ceasefire! She dragged the two investigators onto the scaffolding, and her troops forced the factions apart. Seeing their leaders in the grips, the fighters faltered, soon disarmed by English men. Shepard, find some meds for the wounded. On it. The medics rushed in to carry off the injured. Below, the Evers stare up at England, their captain leader, uncertain. Infighting, really? Not so, what would you do? What did your life buy us? How many brothers and sisters do we lose at Tizeza? And now your unfinished tasks fall to me. Dead silence. Do we have any time for this? England's voice rises, ringing out.
Where?
We are the Verakan Liberation Front. We are meant to unite this land to build our home for our own.
We will be bound.
You can't let your death mean nothing. I have to unite them all like you did. We are not all comrades. We eat the same soil, drink from the same rivers. We live together, share one dream. Faces of the fallen suffer in Ingrid's mind, each carrying a piece of home. Nasa has brought them together, filling the map. Look around. Our enemies are not here. They're in Kazakhstan, waiting for us. She steps forward, fighting, glares at each other, not knowing what to do.
We shouldn't.
Do you think we have do you think we have the bodies to spare? General. The gunshot draws everyone's attention. Every soldier's attention. One of them snaps his attention, stuttering forward towards the doorway. Following the sound, several soldiers escort an old man inside. Though his face shows age, he stands tall and straight. Behind him trails 100 male officers. No, a hardened male officer and a Lingren's female soldier. Bayan Vincent? Yes, and that got to be General Spars. Shepard whispered the name into her ear. There's just pawns. Someone higher up is calling the shots. With Spence's arrival, the soldiers stiffens, fixing their uniforms. Pick up your gun. Get out, worthless dogs. The human troops fall into line and march out. Then the woman speaks up and Ingrid recalls her face, the reckless Arcanist commander she saw at the recruitment ceremony. Let's go. She shrugged, leading her people back. The two minor captains exit with their own men at the tall man's approach.
Nice.
Well, no, you did well just now. You're the girl Nasa brought in, aren't you? His face is kind, his tone uneasy, unassuring. Were it not for the way he stood, he seemed no different than any old man on the street. She's fallen in with Odesee. She lifts her head, still stitching a cap of clothes. The grip of her gun has frayed its loss. General Spouse claps his hand together. No, claps his hand, patting the back gently. She was a good child. The words strike Ingrid as strange. Thank you, child. I do believe that the verdict was biased, but I never expected things to spiral like this. Our loss exercises have hit us hard, we know. He sighs. We might as well made lost less, lost even more to the mid-madness if it wasn't full enough for you. Did well. No, it wasn't for you. You did well. I doubt I was the first of us to hear about this. The old man studied her with a smile. Careful, or that sort of glass of yours will cut you deeper than you expect. What about them? She pointed to the two prisoners crawling by the wall, down the middle. Don't worry, child. We'll investigate the matter thoroughly. When the time comes, reward and punishment will be meted out, but not now. Her doubt's glaze meets his, and only to begin softened by the strained kindness. We already lost too many, and too much of is left undone. Too many want a reason for their comrade gifts, in the haste they reach for whatever is near. Our ranks are in the shambles. We need someone like you, someone who can unite them again. He smiles with satisfaction. You mean... He gave me a comrade of fierce free times, the size of an old unit. Then, just like that, he was off to our son borders. I never learned his final verdict. It was really mine in the skin. Skirmish and battle plans. Rumors from the city were far between. Get to where to go. Okay, I'll be right back and we'll get some water. I am back. Let's see. Okay, so what's the question? What do you want to hear first? Or there? Give me the heavier stuff. Yeah, okay, part. Okay, let's see them real quick. Atlas. Yeah, these are the normal Arcanas. These are the only true humans. Well, just for ignore the call-out characters. And of course, infected are Semmelweis and Nautica. Beyonds are Voyager, which makes sense. Aliens are Beyond, Succubus, and Changelings. That all makes sense. And then Awakens are Charon, Lucy, Brimley, Uruk. Yeah, Sputnik is Awakened, that's what I thought. Pioneer, Apple, White Rum, Loghead, and Pioneer. And then mixed are half human, half should be half human, half Arcanus, or they could be. Because I know she's part Lusu. She is a descendant of something. I'll double check on what makes a mix. But I think I have to, because I know Jay is part human. Let's claim. 2 more parts to go. Cold Steel. Cold Steel the Hedgehog. That was hilarious that we read that on stream. Thus the decision is made. I returned to our little border village and I rebuilt the woodcutters' camp. I even lived in that old gatehouse this time, though it would be a makeshift hospital. No. I had new medicine far better than me. No, medics far better than me at healing.
And
my duty was to hold the border to keep out the enemy. My heels were cracked with sores from east to west. The evening sun slats through the doorway. Ilika's guard leans on the frame, dozing off. Inside Ilika is embroidering a cloth already crowned with patterns. Then Noe Satter. That was hilarious reading his bio. Like, a part of me thinks it was fake, and that, it was like a guy pretending to make an edgy character, but a part of him wants to hold on hope that it was just natural edgy. It's like when you hear those terribly made, you know what I mean? It's like when you hear those terrible Tumblr stories, the ones you want to be real, just because of how funny they are, but in the back of your head, there's a good at least 35% chance that it's fake and someone read, but you're like, I want this to be real. Just because of how absurdly funny it is. Then the noise satters, then quiet.
What's now?
The guard joint awake, straightened his back, and steps aside. Shadows stretched long in the sunset as the group marches up, hurling a bound young man to her door. Captain! The little gatehouse can't hold them all. 2 soldiers drag the prisoner inside. The rest crowd the doorway, peering in.
What happened?
What's the issue? Did he stick his thumb into your breakfast? Alika sets down her needles eyeing the prisoners. No, set down her needles, eyeing the prisoner. He's caked in mud, blood drips from his brow and lip, already beaten half to death. Her face hardens. You overdid it.
Listen.
He's a vampire! The word vampire, the crowd passes closer, eyes widen. Is he?
It's dangerous.
We caught him drinking cow's blood in the barn. She sifts her eyes down in the kneeling youth.
Raise your head.
I look like a vampire.
Oh?
The blunt admission led her to crouch down, making his eyes. You. The young man hides his face till Iga turns to his uniform, searching that special embroidered mark. The mark Iga stitches for every gorilla, a symbol of their home, their purpose. A grassland up north? She racks her memory. There. She flips through the campaign log, page after page, until she finds a note. Their brief encounter. You're the one we found. Joined us as soon as you woke up, right? Yes, ma'am. Iga sets the log back to the table.
What is your name?
Hyros.
You know,
Do you know what we do to the vampires? He nods. Yet you confess. The man says nothing more. The doors it jams with gawkers. The story twists, it spreads, drawing more onlookers.
Hey!
Back to your duties. I'll handle this. She raises, scolding her fighters pass by her head instead. God, get out, or I'll stitch you all together. But Captain, he's... Whether out of concern or hunger to see the vampires end, the soldier lingers. After a pause, he too is driven off. Alone at last, English unties the ropes. Let's talk. He lifts up his head. Dried cow's blood still stains his teeth. Sit. His eyes the store she points to, but there he raises to his feet. He doesn't move.
Why?
Why bother joining us? I did have any special reasons. Even without the war, I didn't have any home to return to. None that would take me. Moving with gorillas was hiding a while longer. It's the best I could do. He rubs his scab on his lips, finger reeking of dirt and straw. Have you killed anyone? Pharaoh shakes his head.
Oh?
How do you handle your need for blood? Cows, sheep is enough to get by. Sometimes I drink from dying enemies, the kind beyond saving, or without blood. But the dying have a rotten taste, hardly better than cattle. And what do you plan to do now? The question Pharaoh freezes. Me? Do I have a choice? If I don't kill you, what will you do? Run. I would keep running until I found some new hole to hide in. No thoughts of living peacefully alongside us? He couldn't help but laugh. Just because I've fallen so low, don't think that my kinds are soft. We are predators. You are our prey. How could there ever be peace between us?
Is it truly
so
not
you're saying
possible?
It's impossible? She holds an expression at a firm but sincere. Pharaoh looks at her and remembers the strings of the sun that day. If I said I had killed people, would you still think this way? England frowns. If you broken the law, then the law should judge you. But I won't condemn you just for what you are. There aren't many that think like you. He folds one arm over the other as the rope was still there. But the vampire's body bears no marks from the rope, nor the wounds he bore from the fist and first encounter. You're naive. Would you expect your people to sleep soundly next to a living bomb?
Oh?
Are you a bomb? Pharaoh steps back. I am not. But what? You joined it, didn't you? I did abandon my people. Pharaoh hangs his head. Did you enjoy playing the saint, or do you fancy having a vampire for a pet? Olga rubs circles in her palm with her fingertips. There's no trace of fabric there now, but she has remembered it.
I simply hate seeing people throw their lives away.
I don't like
it's
to see
asinine.
I don't like to see soldiers turn on each other. She remembers the executioner guard and digs her nails into her palms. Points their guns at those who bend alongside them is stupid. Wasteful. Bled. What's the difference here? Against her own judgment, Pharaoh can't help but drop his sneer. You don't intend to kill me? Humans, arcane, this awakened vampires, why can't we all stand together? Maybe Chara is right, maybe there is an awakened army of the tin soldiers on the battlefield. Girl, leaving in the cloud. No, you're living in clouds. Cuckoo land. Maybe, but if we don't believe in it, what right do I have to leave you? Pharaoh studied the girl, 3 decades younger than him. He sees childness, but a beautiful kind of childness. So how do you intend to solve our problem here? Until you commit an actual crime, I won't punish you. You've been reassigned as my aide. Call it trust or call it surveillance, but don't make mistakes. If for privilege, your life will be harsher than before. I give you a fair chance, but you must convince the others that you won't. No, but you must convince the others. That won't be
Will
easy.
you?
Are you willing? With a shrug, Pharaoh slips his fingers into his mouth. Blood trickles from his lips, and he yoinks his fingers and hands from them. The whole event seems so strange not to give it a try. They grow back soon enough, but consider this a symbol. He takes the bloody fangs, and holds them together up. See? We believe the same color. One day we'll stand together. The world reminds Pharaohs, the words remind Pharaohs of a distant song, though the meaning cannot be more different. He stares at the strained fangs in her hands, feeling now like they have become a mark of shame rather than innocence. He nods, unsure whether I'm hearing an argument. Those were the same disagreements in the company about my handling of Pharaohs. I had earned their trust, but in time, and so did he. Over the years, their suspicion turned into deep, lasting friendship. Even when he was reassigned, no one revealed his secret. It seemed I was the only one who stepped from our dream. At least that's what I believed. Can we continue? That was a quick one. I got that one on the heart. And then last one, A New Dawn. Okay, so the scissors are the ones with the minigame. A New Dawn. But it was just a dream.
What?
Peace talks? So we're just giving up? She groaned in despair. No despair, the general's ever-kind smile. Angelica, this is the best outcome. We need to look towards our accepting compromise.
Could it be?
Compromise? Freedom? Our homeland? Wasn't the entire point of this damn war? We haven't abandoned our goals. We've been promised greater opportunities. I don't know, opportunity. Greater autonomy. Why did I read that? Opportunities. In word only. This has always been the work of generations. We bled long enough. We'll sign the treaty, but our fight will go on.
What?
In the empty promise of old men, what becomes of the comrades, Arcanists, General? Condemned Arcanists. Mind your words. Their files are in the archive. If you cared, you could have checked. The General's sharp reply chokes her. Spiteful words hang on her tongue.
I won't.
I won't agree, and neither will my troops. The folly of youth. I had hoped giving you that command would teach you responsibility. His acrid words form a creak in the fabric of kindness, facade of kindness, but Eureka doesn't flinch. She leans in close. We're already rebels, General. With that, she turns, offering no salute, leaving the lonesome peace behind her. Captain Shepard bursts into Ingrid's room, clenching a stack of letters. Any replies? She snaps the bundle, tearing them open one by one. With each, her face darkens further. In the dark, only a few remain on the desk. The rest she burns, tasks at her fingertips. We're lingering on the border too long.
Turns out.
I'm not the only one begging for it. No, I'm not one for bargaining or kissing rings. I thought we were better than this. Ilinka stumps back, rubbing her forehead. They are already divided among themselves. So now what do we do? She leans back and then forces legs on the chair, tipping up in the creaking sway. She feels as if she's walking a tightrope. There are still a few we can trust. Get these letters out. She points to the last few letters she has to send. Then I'll call a rally. Go. Yes, Captain. She has turned to leave. A soldier delivered another envelope. Look at what looks like there's one more. Leave it there. Ah. He set it on England's desk and leaves. She eyes the letter with suspicion. She thought she had received them all. Wait, what do you mean time sync? You mean like the lyrics line up with the music? I don't really think I don't really think you can copyright that ideal. It's like, well, Bandcamp had that, but I might be wrong. Who could this be for? But stirring is useless, and Lika lifts the envelope from the desk and slices it open. Run. Imagine you get a letter in the mail, no address, no return address, and with just the single word "run" on it. What would you do, chat? Flames roar in her ears. Her body feels nothing but numbness. No. She tries to lift herself up, only to realize one of her arms is not there. Though searing pain, she crawls through the flames, finds her severed limbs, and sits back on. Naive. In ideals, you are far too naive. She wipes the blood from her face, feeling flesh torn under her fingers. Despite this, she repairs her body. As she fought once gathered back, her scattered comrades one by one. Gonna screenshot this. There we go.
You think
killing me will stop someone from rising to rip off that mask? You think killing one will silence the rest? You chose wrong. Fire.
Fire can't kill me.
The thing I'm saying, Apple Music, I had a feature for years, Spotify only added around November. Believe I didn't know because I was listening to Foo Fighters when it came out. Yeah. You think all music platforms should have I think all music platforms have something like that. Lining up the music. Lining up the music with, lyrics. Speaking of music, so there was like a server. So Apple Windows Movie Player would sync up to a server, so that's how it got album art for you. When you put your CDs in there, because CDs would be registered, if I gather correctly, CDs would be registered to the server. So when you would rip your CDs, they would get properly named, and the album artwork would be put on them. But Microsoft pulled the plug on all the servers that house that information. So now I don't even think Media Player can even recognize CDs anymore, if I remember correctly, like a modern media player. But I saw a video on it at work. I think I only skimmed it on my break, but I think not only won't pull your album art. You can just use a third party software to put album art on and tag. That's what I do. For my albums, but I think it won't even recognize them anymore. Fire can't kill me. 3 years later. And she's in the cabin. A train cuts through the rolling fields of white snow. Inside, it's warm and bright. Corvus presses her hand to the window pane, feeling the cold beyond. Across from her seat, the train conductor, her chest fastened with medals. Madame, I do believe I know the truth. You survived that blast living and hiding under the pseudonym Carvis. He closes a thick dresser, letting it fall with the weight on the table. The dodgery lands with a heavy thud.
Yes, you're right.
Corvus glances at him, then resumes her stitching. I must inform you then, in light of this revelation, I will have no choice but to turn you and those refugees over to the authorities. And actually, the ones who sponsored your employment at Venet Fanon Railways in the first place. Is that the company's position? The company? They don't know yet. He rises, silver metal gleaming in the candlelight. Did you earn those? Or is that the going rate for betrayal, to betraying defenseless people? I could care less about them. You're the main prize. He orders the guards while heading to the door, but Corvus's voice halts him.
Hey!
Conductor, do you know where this train is heading? Corvus bites off the final thread from her embroidered complete. The conductor looks at her, puzzled. The red symbol on the cloth strikes him with dread.
Me and my people will not be handed over.
The guards at the door turn. He sees the same symbol stitched inside their collars. You! Before he can act, he catches a glimpse through the doorway, a row of attendants, all bearing the same mark, standing ready. Corvus steps to the rear window. The horizon glows pale with a new dawn.
Dawn.
No matter how many times it fails, the sun will rise again. Falls. The end. Nice. That was a short, flat chapter. Tumor nose have appeared inside the wound. Blood must be delivered to both of the terminal to complete the stitching. Okay. That's where the blood goes, so the blood goes there. Zoink. And then... oh, you need blood. Wait, what's it? Reset. So that's the blood. Okay, so you get this, this, and this. Nice. Yeah. Oh. There we go. Nice. Then. There we go. Never many tangent. God of War Ragnarok would be a better game if it. Yeah, Ragnarok is the fourth mainline God of War game, or Ragnarok the fifth. Cause I know the story of the first one was, Kratos' second wife dying, and then he goes, cause I don't know this. I know the story of the first Nordic game. I don't know the story of the second one. Let's see. So this is this. Really? Maybe? Well, this is the one I got right here, so this. Does that one work? But then, zing. Upright. I'm gonna get one upright one, so it means. Okay, the blood comes in here. Maybe we have to do a roundabout? You. Ah, nice. Cool. That's a fun puzzle. Yeah, but fifth game, I have no clue what happened in the fifth game. I just remember. I remember watching reviews and walkthroughs of the first Nordic game, so I have no clue what happened in Ragnarok. Ragnarok is a big part of why I never finished my God of War marathon before Doom, The Dark Age. The game was waste your time. Well, I know a lot of. I know the second God of War, the first Nordic God of War game refused to have loading screens, so you would just have to, you couldn't just load into. You wanted to go back to a previous area, you had to go through a corridor because they wanted, that over the shoulder. Ooh, aren't we so cinematic aim camera? So they couldn't just simply have, a loading screen. And like I said, I know people were not. What is this? Please. Yeah, so they move things around now. Yeah. So yeah, we finished this one. Nice. Okay, so place for all the ones you fully Nope, I haven't completed this. Yeah, I completely forgot to do photonics during chapter 11 and chapter 9. I forgot to do Puppet Arena. Yeah, I forgot to do all my Puppet Arenas for the Revival of Uluru game. And I forgot to finish my UTT for Florida to the Golden City. I completely forgot to do UTT again for yeah, a lot of these are just UTTs I forgot to do. Yeah, UTT, and there's no way for me to complete them. I completely did not do any of Echoes on the Mountain because I was so busy. I was on vacation during that time. Yeah, that was a fun event.
Stop me. I will jump
Everyone enjoyed
into
it.
the woods, as I have done this countless times.
And let's convert. Yep, so now we have 70 draws we can do on Broom. I think that's what we're gonna end it tonight. So we've been going on for about 3 hours. That's as long as most of these event chapters take me about 3 hours to complete. So let me get the music all set up. Yep, it is. Have a good night, chat.